Hi, I'm Tish Oney, and I will be offering an instructional jazz education video for you today. So, hope you enjoy. The topic of the day is improvisation, specifically for singers, but instrumentalists may get something out of it too, so I hope you will stay and watch instrumentalists. I decided to use an original song for this demonstration called Lonely Evening, which I wrote several years ago. And it's available on my third CD, my third album, which is called Sweet Youth. So it comes from that. And so there's a number of different types of improvisation that we can talk about. I thought we would talk about two specific types for singers today. One is scat improvisation, or use of nonsense syllables, and the other is text-based improvisation. And so text-based improvisation is one that was utilized by Billie Holiday, Peggy Lee, Sarah Vaughan, and many other great jazz vocalists who did not do a lot of scat singing. And scat improvisation was used by some great improvisers like Ella Fitzgerald and others who were really tremendously gifted at utilizing nonsense syllables. So we'll do a little bit of each and talk about them. And so first and foremost, when you're dealing with improvisation, I like to take apart the text of the piece that you're dealing with. So it's important that you really know the words and what it comes from. So here are the words of the poem that I wrote and then set to music. Once upon a lonely evening, the setting sun paints a backdrop of romance. Summer shadows moving in the night, flowers bending toward the light. Memories of a faded love song that echo back from the corners of my mind. Times I had forgotten long ago. Loneliness is here, I know. Why must I try to answer the question long in my mind? How my heart can go on beating endlessly without you beside me. Sunrise bears the break of morning. Its soothing light brings the joy of days unpenned. Sunset circles round me once again. Will my lonely evening never end? So when I was performing this a number of years ago at an outdoor concert, my mother happened to be in attendance, and she came to me afterward, and she had never heard the song before. I had just written it. She said, "Tish, that song is so moving." And the reason is because it's a song that resonates with people who've recently lost someone dear to them. And you wrote it from a place of empathy, and those people can really relate to that song. So thank you for writing it. And so that has meant the world to me, because first of all, it was my mother saying that, and she was being as objective as she could be. If you know my mother, you understand. To get a compliment is a really wonderful thing from her. And so that stuck with me. And so understanding that aspect always comes back to me whenever I sing the song. So similarly, if you're going to sing a song or play a song with a text from anywhere, from a musical, from a movie, from a poem that had been previously written, it's important that you know what the text is so that you can bring that much more of a layer of understanding to that total piece. And that will positively impact your improvising efforts. I guarantee it. So now that we've talked about the text, let's hear the song's melody and harmony the way the composer intended. Once upon a lonely evening, the setting sun paints a backdrop of romance. Summer shadows try to answer the question long in my mind, how my heart can go on beating endlessly without you beside me. Sunrise bears the break of morning. Its soothing light brings the joy of days unpenned. Sunset circles around me once again. Will my lonely evening never end? And then sometimes when we are improvising in a ballad style, when we go back to scat sing, it can sometimes be useful to do it in a double time feel to add a little liveliness, to add some energy to the otherwise slow moving song. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a little double time scat improvisation. And when I'm scatting, some of the time you'll hear me scatting the melody, which is how I recommend students begin working on scat. Scat the melody first and then depart from the melody gradually. Add a little embellishment here and there, and always come back to the melody if you're not sure what to put out there. The melody is tried and true. It's what the composer wrote, so it's fine to scat the melody at first. So we might take a few phrases now, and I'll show you the gradations of departing from the melody. So if we're going to scat the melody first, it might be like this. Okay, and then I can depart from it a little bit more. And then going on in a double time feel like I just found. Singing the melody anymore. Thinking about some sequences. Back to the bridge, what I like to do is some text-based improvisation here. Often when we get back to the bridge, it's a time when the text comes back and it prepares the audience for the ending of the piece, but you don't have to sing the text the same way that you did the first time because they've already heard the melody once. So as a jazz musician, it's important to put in some kind of improvisation. And so I like to improvise at the bridge in a text-based improvisation style, especially if I'm about to end the tune. So that's what we'll do this time. And then when we get back to the last A section, we'll take it out of time and do rubato, which is how I originally wrote it. So here's some text-based improvisation. I'm leaving the text in, changing the melody and the rhythms a little bit. Why must I try to answer the question long in my mind? How my heart can go on beating endlessly without you So some other things to think about when we are improvising can include tempo changes, like the rubato section was really a kind of a timeout from the regular beat pattern. And in an ensemble situation, that's a good thing to try to do sometimes, to play with the feel and play with the tempo when it makes sense to play with the tempo, when it's part of the chart, which it is for mine. And always I come back to the text, because if the improvisation is not reflecting the text, if you don't have a good reason for it not to reflect the text, then it might be something you want to rethink. So I want to make sure that whatever I do to improvise is still in the spirit of what I intended with the text. So if we go back to the beginning and we try some other ideas for the scatting, we'll see what comes. We'll see what comes through. I'm trying to do is be mindful of the thirds and the sevenths in the chords that I'm playing through, and trying to choose notes that help define the chord. Those would be the thirds and the sevenths, and then also the extensions beyond that. Once you're more advanced, if you can practice singing thirds and practice singing the sevenths of the chords as they're going by, that will help you, whether you're an instrumentalist or a singer, to find some really hip notes to sing and to perform as you're improvising. Thanks so much for watching, and you can find me at tishoney.com. Find me on Twitter at Tish Sings. Find me at Tish Oney on Facebook on my musician page. And thanks for supporting live musicians. Thanks for supporting jazz education. Leave me a tip if you like this, and we'll see you next time. Be safe. Thanks. Sunrise past the